Welcome in, everybody. It is Wednesday, and we are ready to talk about some Week 8 buy, sells, start, sits. So if you're here, throw your questions in the chat. Be sure to like the stream. Coach, my friend, how you doing?
Man, I am good. We were a little late because we had to wait on Matt. It is what it is, Like I get used to it. It happens.
You know that's not what happened, but that's okay. That's not what we're here for. My managers are struggling. Coach's Bears are doing great, so he's feeling good. But Juan has already put our first question in the chat, so we appreciate you, Juan. We'll grab that in just 1 second here. But Coach, how you feeling for Week 8? You ready to get to some fantasy stuff? I mean, we're about halfway through the season. Lots of stuff to break down. How are you doing with fantasy so far?
You know how it is. We're in so many leagues. Like you get some good, some bad. You're at that point in the year where bye weeks are killing some people, especially this week. Like this is a bye week nightmare week. And injuries, right? Like the reality of the situation is you got to avoid injuries to win a fantasy football title, and that's literally completely out of your control. So it happens. Like I'm experiencing the Puka problem currently.
Oof.
And Garrett Wilson at the same time in one league. Like, I mean, what do you do? I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, the running backs being hurt, quarterbacks hurt, wide receivers, it's all over the place. You mentioned the bye weeks. We've got the Cardinals, the Lions, the Jags, the Raiders, the Rams, and the Seahawks all on bye this week. So lots of teams to go through. But let's go ahead and answer the few questions we have here, Coach. We'll talk about some fantasy news, some fantasy players. But if you're here, throw your questions in the chat, and we will certainly answer them. As always, if you want to pass the line, jump the line, you can send us a super chat, and we will go straight to that. Coach Juan says, who for my wide receiver 1, 2, and 3 tight end and flex spot? His wide receivers are QJ, Debo Samuel, Keyshawn Butte, Jordan Addison, Tez Johnson. His running backs are Corey Krosky Merritt, Travion Henderson, or Kyle Monangai. At the tight end position, we've got Ertz, Kittle, and have Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor as the RB1 and 2. Obviously, we have Devontae Adams and Sharps on bye here, Coach. So let's start with the wide receivers here, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to go with QJ, Debo Samuel, and Jordan Addison, assuming he plays.
Yeah, I agree with all that. Like Addison is, to me, is a guy you've got to get out there the way it's been going for him so far. QJ had such a strong start. I mean, I totally agree with everything you just said there.
Yeah, you mentioned Addison. I mean, double-digit points every single week so far, 15, 15, 21. Out there basically every single play, over 6 targets every single week, 114 yards, 41 yards, 128 yards. He's super involved. You got to play him. The running backs, so we're picking a flex spot here too, Coach. So I'm going to start Kittle at tight end. I know it was bad last week.
I agree with that.
And then I'm probably going to flex Zach Ertz.
Yeah, I'm flexing Zach Ertz, or I mean, Tez Johnson's tempting, but yeah, I'm going Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz gets an end zone.
Yeah, and I think he's a safe floor too. And we'll have to see what happens. Obviously, Jaden Daniels not playing, so that hurts. And then we'll see if Terry McLaurin plays. Bill right now, I'd be tempted to flex Bill, but that's because I'm biased and I'm searching for him to play well, and it's not been good thus far. So I won't lie, I'm a little bit concerned in the lineups. I have to play him.
Do you like his chances better without Jaden Daniels?
I don't think it's better without it. I think it's going to be better with Sam Cosmi coming back. It's his first full week of practices, so I'm excited to see that. Last week was a product of the game got out of hand, and then, the run game was just not there at all. Dallas played really good up front, so that definitely stifled us a little bit, and I don't think we expected that. But we also were down by so much, we didn't really have the ability to establish the run game.
So then as a guy that's really dialed in, did you notice a difference in the play calling with Mariota compared to Daniels?
No, I mean,
in regards to the run game in particular.
Yeah, they use them pretty similarly. I think Mariota certainly has less designed runs. Now, again, the game was so far out of hand, but the weeks prior when he did come into the game and was the guy that week, they still had a few design read options for him, and I expect that to still be a thing. But to be honest, it was really tough because the pass catchers were abysmal. I mean, we were throwing out there to Robbie Chosen, man. It was not good. So this team needs some health, and the defense needs to step up in a big way. Now
Matt,
go ahead.
The sneaky flex play here is Monangai.
Mm.
That's an interesting flex play right now against that Baltimore defense. There is a clear timeshare happening in Chicago. They were pretty much rotating series, him and DeAndre Swift.
Do you think part of that was because of the weather in Chicago? I know you were at the game, so you can tell us firsthand what the conditions were like. But I wonder if that was because Caleb was struggling. The field conditions weren't great. It was just the perfect, let's line up, hit each other in the mouth, run for 4 yards.
Possibly, but at the same time, his usage has grown each week. You saw the week before last, his usage was up, and then this past week, I mean, really, they were literally alternating series the entire time. So that's something to keep an eye on, no doubt. If you can add Monangai on waivers, you need to do it.
Yeah, totally agree there. My own guy was one guy I highlighted in my running back rankings this week as a waiver pickup or a spot start. So I totally agree with you there. I know he was on your waivers that you post every single week. So Monangai is a name to certainly watch, and it's a name we talked about this offseason. So if you're not following us on X, if you're not watching our videos in the offseason, you need to, because we're talking about a lot of rookies we've already talked about. Let's get to Ezekiel's question here, Coach. So should I trade Gibbs for Bijan? Rest of the season, Coach, would you rather have Bijan or would you rather have Gibbs? I tend to think that it's almost a coin toss. You're just kind of getting what it is. Bijan's already had his bye. They both have had their bye, have they not? So doesn't really matter. So I lean Gibbs just because of the offense, but I wouldn't fault you for taking Bijan. I mean, they're both about the same to me.
Yeah, I would rather have Bijan, honestly. Just because he's getting a higher workload than Gibbs. I mean, I love both of them. I want both of them on my team, right? But I think both of these guys are going to be steady forces, whereas I don't quite see Jonathan Taylor, his usage continuing the way it has. Like, when it's all said and done, Bijan and Jameer are going to be – no, I mean like Jonathan Taylor. He's been such an outlier compared to everybody else. Like, when you look at running back rankings, like statistically – Jonathan Taylor's points are way above these guys. Like, that's when come back down to earth a little bit, and you're going to see Bijan and Gibbs are going to be top 4 regardless. It's really a coin flip on whichever guy you like more, honestly.
And part of that, I mean, Bijan's running back 3, Gibbs is running back 4. Bijan has 4 touchdowns on the season so far. Jonathan Taylor has 11.
Now Bijan has had his bye, and Gibbs has not. Correct?
No, Gibbs is on his bye this week. I misspoke.
Right.
So
yeah. So their rushing yards, Bijan has 524 rushing yards. Gibbs has 526. And Bijan's played 1 less game. So Bijan's caught 4 more balls than Gibbs. He's played 1 less game. Like, his usage is higher.
Yeah. And I mean, if we want – well, let's step back and let's look at the playoff schedule too, Coach. Bijan's going to be playing Seattle in week 14, Tampa Bay in week 15, Arizona week 16, the Rams in week 17. So Arizona's the one matchup there that you would like. The rest of those are pretty tough, whereas Gibbs has got Dallas in week 14, not good against the run. The Rams, tough. Pittsburgh, ho-hum. Minnesota, ho-hum as well. So schedules might just lean Jameer just a little bit, but I don't know if that's enough to really make the case. So I'm going to go with Gibbs just because I'm going to chase the offense. I understand the usage is different. I mean, Gibbs has only got about half of the snaps each week. But, you're not wrong, Coach, and Bijan's usage and opportunities are just simply more. But he's on the worst offense.
And I just think Bijan's a bigger part of the offense.
Yeah.
So
either way, Ezekiel, you cannot go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Right, no doubt.
All right, well, let's carry on. Albert's here. We appreciate you, Albert. As always, thanks for tuning in. Jared, Coach, says, hey, guys, would you drop Henderson for Brashad Smith or Isaiah Davis? I mean, Henderson, man, what do you do, Coach? I saw quotes from Mike Vrabel today where he said, this wasn't a product of what Henderson done. It's just that he felt like Ramondre was just running the ball well, and so he wanted to give him more opportunity. So, Coach, are you willing to part ways with Travion Henderson at this point?
The problem is Henderson got the 3rd most work, right? Mm-hmm. He got the 3rd most carries in the backfield. Like, That's the concern. The concern is not as much for Mondre. It's a concern is, has he fallen behind someone else? And it's starting to look like maybe. Vrabel doesn't care. Vrabel does not care where people are drafted. He could give a crap less. He'll sit Henderson in a heartbeat. I mean, he's proven that time and time again. Would I drop him for? I mean, maybe for Rashard Smith, not for Isaiah Davis.
Yeah.
But I probably. I hate to say this. It's a tough one, but I think I would hold Henderson one more week.
I think I would too, and I understand if you want to make the play for Brashard Smith. I will caution you that he's had the receiving work since about week 4. 4 targets, 3 targets, 4 targets, 5 targets this past week, 5 catches, 42 yards. That's kind of what you're chasing. This week he did have 14 attempts though. I'm not sure that is necessarily sustainable long term. Now the running backs, Kareem Hunt did get hurt in that game, so we'll see if he plays. I mean, monitor his health there. I'm not sure if there's been an update, so let me check that really quick there. I don't see anything here,
It's hard to feel good about any of those 3.
Totally agree. I would keep Henderson one more week, like Coach said, and just kind of see what happens. But he does put on here also, Coach, do I play Mason if Aaron Jones plays, or do I play Vidal PPR? I would probably play Vidal if Jones does end up playing, just because Hassan Haskins has already been ruled out. That game's on Thursday night, so it's a short week. I don't see them necessarily involving another guy. I think someone will spell him at times, but I don't think it'll be a 50-50 share, kind of like it has been. So I would play Vidal. What about you, Coach?
Well, I've been on record saying this when it comes to Jones. Like, if the Vikings are in the hunt and they're in the battle, then Jones is going to get back and get usage, and he's going to get 50% of the work. Now, whether people like to hear that or not, I don't know. But I just think Jones is a valuable piece. Like, I really do. And I think Minnesota really likes him. He's definitely valuable out of the backfield. So I think if Jones comes back, I would probably play Vidal myself. Not feel great about it necessarily, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think I would roll with Vidal if Jones comes back. I actually like Jones or Mason, either one as a nice flex play though.
Totally agree. And I will say too, Coach, to your point about Mason and Jones, they do love Jones, and Jones is going to get his opportunity when he does come back. I mean, we saw in the first week he had 3 targets. He got hurt in week 2, only had 1 target that game. Since then, since week 3 on, where Mason has basically had this backfield to himself, other than some times where they've been using the Scott kid, he's had 7 total targets, and all of them came in just 2 games. So he's had 2 games with 0 targets where he had 77% of the snaps and 60% of the snaps. So he's just simply not involved in the passing game. They handed off to him a ton, 13, 16 times each time. But I think you're just kind of capped with Jordan Mason. So if he doesn't get in the end zone, he's not going to get that PPR buff that you might get from other running backs, whereas Vidal could easily get that this week. And then when Jones does ultimately come back, we know that work's going to go to him. I mean, week 1, Jordan Mason only had 1 target. Mason had 3. So I expect that to play into this as well.
Yeah, and I've got I can admit a little bit of bias here. I think Aaron Jones still has a little bit left. I just think he's a better player than maybe even Jordan Mason at times. Like, Jordan Mason has been solid running the ball, but he hasn't been anything special either.
I think he is better, to be honest. I would say Aaron Jones is better too than Mason. I also think that there's a good chance that Jones doesn't play. I mean, it's a short week. I could easily see them giving him one more week off, because this is what they consider the mini bye when you play on Thursdays, because you're going to get the rest of the week off before you roll into the next week. So I could see him sitting. But Coach Jared does ask, do we play Dak, Love, or Nix for the rest of the season? I don't know how you don't play Dak, to be honest. That's the pick I would make.
Yeah, to me it's Dak, Nix, Love. There's my order.
That would be my order too.
No, you cannot sit Dak, whatever you do right now. Not right. There's no way right now.
He's playing way too good. Coach Brandon says, thoughts on Harold Fannin Jr. rest of the season? I like him a lot, man.
This one to you. Yeah, I'm giving this one back to you.
I like him a lot. Harold Fannin was one of my favorite players in the offseason. Last 2 weeks, he's been really consistent. He highlights here, he's got Njoku and Strange on his IR. Njoku's out. So for the time being, Fannin, someone you're just wheels up running. I mean, over 80% of the snaps the last 2 weeks. over 79% of the snaps for the last 4 total weeks. Before that, he was in the 60s and 70s. So he's involved. This offense is going to be down and more likely than not losing most of these games. So they're going to have to throw the ball. They use him more like a wide receiver than really a tight end. I mean, he's a matchup nightmare because he's smaller than a lot of these guys. He can move quick. He's got the missed tackles force. He's leading tight ends right now in the NFL, and he led the country last year in college at Bowling Green. So he's a fantastic player in space, one of my favorite players to watch. So I'm all in on Harold Fannin Jr. rest of the season.
Yeah, I totally agree. You pretty much made every point I would make. I agree with Matt completely. So if you're in here, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, like, all those things. The questions are starting to pile up, I see here too. So feel free to send in a super chat if you want to jump the line as well.
Yeah, Coach, I do want to ask you one quick question about Harold Fannin, though. I'm curious about your stance because I know where I stand. I've got a bunch of shares in Dynasty. I mean, the kid's 22 years old. What do you think his value is? Would you be willing to pay a first to go get Harold Fannin right now if you were in a tight end premium league?
Ooh, man, that's a tough one. Tight end premium, maybe. Maybe definitely would play a second. Easily would pay a second right now in a tight end premium for sure.
Yeah,
late first possibly.
I think I'd be playing a late first if I was, maybe I know Kittle's coming back now, but I'm trying to think of someone else that's been injured, but it's kind of slipping my mind. But if I was someone that's been having a Mark Andrews, I would easily be looking to go get a Harold Fannin and maybe swap those guys just on name value alone.
Well, how about Gadsden? How do you feel about him and Gadsden?
Ooh, Gadsden's not far behind him, man. He's not far behind him. I think I'd rather have – oh, that's so tough.
In Dynasty, who would you rather have?
I'm going to go with Fannin. My gut tells me Fannin just because he's making plays all over the dang place, and he has been since week 1. But Gadsden's not far behind. If I had to guess, let's say Harold Fannin's tight end 10 overall. I don't have my rankings pulled up. Gadsden's got to be what, like 13? Not far behind.
Oh yeah, man. This tight end class was elite. There's no doubt. Like, to me, it's Fannin and Gadsden, but again, it's really close. I mean, between Warren and Loveland, Fannin, Gadsden, Mason Taylor, goodness
Ferguson,
gracious.
Arroyo. There's names out there that still have time to get better.
And they're still like Arroyo had a 25-yard catch or something on the first drive the other night.
Yeah. No, I love it.
It's crazy.
I love the tight end talk. That was one of my favorite positions to watch this past offseason. There was a ton of guys that looked really, really good. But like you said, Coach, the questions are piling up. So we will continue to get back to those. Jared, speaking of tight end, says tight end McBride on bye. Fannin or Schultz this week, Coach? Nico might be out.
Fannin. We just talked about him. Absolutely. Yeah, Fannin all day.
Fannin for me, too. That Texans offense is kind of in shambles right now. Don't really know what to make of it. CJ Stroud has regressed. And
what is going on there? It is bad.
I don't know what to say. It's really bad. I really don't know what to say. There's weapons there. I get the offensive line is bad. It's a new offensive coordinator, but still, the CJ Stroud we saw rookie year is not even close to the CJ Stroud we're seeing this year or we saw last year.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me at all. Like, it looks like a completely different player. I don't know if the change of offense has bothered him even more. I don't know what's going on there, man. It don't even look the same at all.
Yeah. Tree Hugging Hunter Coach says, right now I have 3 quarterbacks. It's not a Superflex league. Going to need to drop one. He's got Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, and Jaden Daniels. Have Bucky and Benson in the IR spots. Hopefully Bucky comes out after the bye week. He needs a spot for him on his roster, Coach. Which one of these quarterbacks would you be willing to drop? And I would note, depending on my running back room here, Tree Hugger, is I would be willing to drop Trey Benson, to be quite honest. I understand you might have spent a lot of fab on him, but depending on my running back situation, I would be interested in maybe dropping him and picking someone else up. Now, that being said, if I'm dropping just a quarterback, I'm probably going to drop Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I would probably drop Caleb Williams, but the first thing I'd do is see if I could trade him to someone.
Yeah.
I would see what I could get for him first before I cut him loose.
Yeah, you've got 3 quarterbacks here. You might be able to do a swap too, man, and it doesn't even have to be a lot. You could do a Trey Benson and Caleb Williams and just try and get something small coming back your way. Just see what you can get because you're going to drop them, so it's not like it matters to you. But access.
Do you need a backup? Do you need a backup tight end? Right, something like that.
Yeah, perfect example there. Access MIA says PPR drop Carter for Spears, Coach. Would you be willing to do that?
I think I would. Shoot, that's tough. Yeah, I would probably.
Yeah, I would.
I don't like either guy. much, to be honest. But
I think Spears would be the one more likely to do something. I mean, Carter's just, it's so capped to me. Like, I get so is Spears that the offense is terrible, but, if they get caught at the end zone, you could easily see Tajay Spears running in 2 touchdowns. Like, that's possible. So I would just go with that.
Mm-hmm.
KJ Frederick, coach, says better running back 2 to start, Brashard Smith or RJ Harvey. It's full PPR. First, I'll say you're in a terrible situation, my friend, for running back 2s here. So I feel for you in that regard. But, coach, do you have any belief in RJ Harvey? My gut kind of tells him over Brashard Smith. And I get it. Again, we talked about Brashard Smith just a few minutes ago. And I think that there is some volume there, but I think that it could easily not be what we want it to be. Now, RJ Harvey has not been good either. 4 carries, 2 carries, 4 carries in the last 3 weeks with just 3 targets, 4 targets, and 2 targets with about 20% of the snaps. So, coach, what's your thoughts here?
I think it's C, none of the above, but Brashard, I think Brashard Smith has a better chance to boom for you and hit than RJ Harvey. That's my thoughts. RJ Harvey has been a massive disappointment, in my opinion, especially considering where he was drafted. Brashard Smith's getting more usage out of the backfield and passing game. Brashard Smith has more upside, I think.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Brashard Smith too, just from the passing upside too. I mean, he's going to have that floor there. If he gets even half of the carries he had last week, that's going to be better. I mean, we look at RJ Harvey's stats last week. He scored a touchdown and he had 7.2 points. So
yeah,
that is not good at all.
RJ Harvey had 4 carries for 0 yards.
Yep. Great point, coach. Great point. Now, again, that game was a little bit different. It was a little weird, but it is also telling that they were down basically the entire game, and he wasn't being used. I mean, your mind might say, "Oh, he's a scat back that they could use in that situation," but he's not. I mean, J.K. Dobbins has been pretty good. KJ does add, coach, that should I hold on to Juwan Jennings or drop him for Alex Pierce or Tez Johnson? Full PPR again. I mean, Juwan Jennings is tough, man.
He is. We get his name every week, and every week I go, like literally, right? He did have 4 catches this past week. Alec Pierce runs a million routes. They love him in Indy, right? I mean, he really does. They love him in Indy. He has a very important role. I mean, he's a deep threat guy for them. I mean, there is that. But Juwan Jennings is going to get more consistent targets. What are your thoughts on Tez Johnson?
Tez is interesting. I mean, involved again. I know he had the deep bomb touchdown 2 weeks ago. He gets involved this past week. We also have to deal with the injuries. Mike Evans goes on to IR. It doesn't look like Chris Godwin's going to play. So if we're talking about a spot start here, I might lean Tez Johnson. And
yep.
I don't know if I would have the guts to play him. If I had to pick one of these guys to play just this week, I would play Tez over the other 2. Just for the upside. Baker's playing good. The offense scores a ton of points. But long term, if I said, hey, I'm going to have to play this guy every single week, I would probably look at Juwan Jennings or Alec Pierce over him.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think I would go Tez first in this group of the 3. I would go Tez. And then Alec Pierce, I don't know. I mean, Alec Pierce to me is the 3rd receiving option on his team for sure. And I think Tez, with the current injury situation, is wide receiver 2.
Yeah, but Coach, you mentioned a good point of this team loves him and he's out there every single time. I mean, 10 targets, which it was a career high for him in targets this past week. 87% of the snaps. The week before that, where he only had 4 targets, still 81% of the snaps. So he's out there. It's like you said, he's running around no matter what, just burning people. It's just
like, what's the stat? He literally runs farther and more than anyone all year last year.
Yeah, I think it's the last 2 years he's done it. So,
yeah,
and it's like not even close either. He's just out there running go routes just repeatedly. So, I mean, you're not wrong.
Like a lot of people are hot on Josh Downs right now. Like, he was all over people asking questions in the waivers. How do you feel about Josh Downs?
Josh Downs is interesting. I feel like we've overhyped Josh Downs every single year, and we try to make him better than he is. Shout out to Michael Pittman for kind of resurrecting his career and becoming what he was before. I mean, he was abysmal last year, but this year he's been really
It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault.
Bingo, coach. A lot of this comes back to the quarterback play. Josh Downs is good, but he kind of operates a little bit like that that Wandale role almost in this offense. Like he's just the
Yeah.
slot guy. He does the in and out stuff. He does the dirty work. He'll certainly get some plays that he makes downfield because he's athletic, but I don't think that he's the big time receiver that a lot of people have wanted him to kind of be the slot one of this team. I think it runs through Michael Pittman first, and we also have to shout out Tyler Warren. Like Tyler Warren's been incredible, and he's going to get a lot of volume.
Yeah, no doubt. He's been fantastic. And like you said, Michael Pittman is the best receiver in the building for them. Like he just is. We knew that 2 years ago. It's showing itself back now with Daniel Jones and the way the offense is humming. Juwan Jennings is a pain in the butt, period. Like, he just is a pain. It's hard to figure out. Is Pearsall playing? Pearsall comes back. Juwan Jennings will take a step back. I don't know if he's playing or not. It seems possible that Pearsall might play. But yeah, I'm going Tez with this group.
Okay. Jared asked, Coach, PPR, Golden, Alec Pierce, or Mooney off the waivers. Which one are you picking? I'm going to go with Golden.
Golden. I'm going Golden. But now, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, those guys come back. That would be a major problem for Golden, right? In my opinion, that's going to be a problem for Golden. Jaden Reed's coming back in the next couple of weeks. Alec Pierce might actually have the most upside of this group.
Who would have thought? I mean, Mooney intrigues me with the fact that Kirk Cousins is playing this week, or it looks that way. And Kirk Cousins and Darnell Mooney were in a groove last year to start the season. So I would be intrigued with that. I don't know if I have the guts to play him personally, but
I was interested they cut Ray McLeod loose this week.
Is that the runway for Darnell Mooney? I did see that, and he got signed immediately too.
Yeah, I mean he did some good things last year, especially. Yeah, like it's a tough one. I'm with you there. You've talked me into this a little bit. It's Mooney, Pierce, and then Golden. I'm not as high on Golden as you are. It's really an offense thing, not a Golden thing.
I get it. Coach, someone tried to trade Sal here, Bucky Irving, and Jacoby Myers for Cam Scatterbo. Would you be willing to do that? Depending on my running back room, I would absolutely be willing to do it. Now, since Bucky's hurt, but if Bucky's hurt and you need a win this week, let's say you're 3-4 and you're trying to get back in, you have to place Cam. You don't have a choice.
Right. Yeah, that does change things. You need a win desperately. That's totally different. If you're 5-2, that's different. Like, give me Bucky and Jacoby.
Yeah, I'm with you. RGQ coach says, do I trade away Lamar and stick with Drake May rest of the season?
So this is interesting. I actually saw this question pop up before you got to it, and I immediately said, I think I'm going to roll with Drake May. That being said, this is the week for Lamar. Like, to me, Lamar's going to come back and he's going to play. Sucks it's against my Bears. It feels like one of those seasons where I wouldn't be shocked if Lamar shuts it down if things don't get better in Baltimore anytime soon. But there is a world where this is a must win. They feel like they have to win this game. They might get back in the hunt if they could win this game and run off 4 or 5 in a row. So I would expect somewhat of a big game here this week from Lamar. But actually, I think rest of the season, I would probably go Drake May. I can't believe that. I
mean, it's a lot closer than you have to think. And you mentioned it. They're not far. I mean, if they lose this game to the Bears, they fall to 1-6. How long do you go out there and roll Lamar for basically a lost season? Now, I get that they close out the season with a lot of divisional games, so it's still technically within their grasp, but 1-6 is just, there's no way. Like, that basically seals the deal. Their Ravens are.
I was going to say, you can find a sucker to give you a haul for Lamar.
Mm-hmm. And with Drake May, you have a quarterback that's, even if Lamar is better, you have a top 10 quarterback right now in fantasy. So
exactly.
You could take Lamar and you could add a big piece to your roster, whether you're weak at running back or wide receiver or even tight end, whatever it is. So I would be interested in it too, Coach. But
I think you can get a big piece for Drake May, but you can get a bigger piece just because Lamar's a sexier name.
Yeah, the name value is huge with Lamar. He adds that the week 8 buys has to be illegal. I mean, it's brutal. I mean, it's tough. I said in my running back video that
Preach.
there's going to be some weird names in the top 24 just because there's so many names out this week. But Coach, I don't know if you've heard, but AC Yard Services, one of the best out there.
They are. Use those guys.
That's what I would say. So we appreciate you for being here, AC Yard Service. What would you trade Lamb, Bowers, and Monangai for JSN and Scattaboo, Coach? Would you be willing to grab this duo, giving up the 3?
You know what? I think we need AC Yard Service T-shirts. That's what I think. I think we need those. Instead of a super chat, we will take an AC Yard Services shirt. What you trade? Lamb, Bowers, Monangai for JSN, Scattaboo. Lamb, Bowers.
It adds that it's half PPR too, Coach. Bowers is hurt. Lamb, it's tough to trade a Cowboy right now because that offense is just humming, and they're so dang good as it stands. JSN's been really good. It's worth noting again, we're back in that same situation of JSN's currently on bye. So do you need a win this week? If you're trading for JSN and Scattaboo, you have to be willing to take a loss or have him on your bench. Now, that being said, I probably lean Lamb and Bowers over JSN and Scattaboo. And I totally get it if you need the other way. It depends on your running back room.
Yep, I agree completely. I think Lamb, Bowers, Monangai is the side I'm leaning. How would you change your opinion on if it was Dynasty, Matt?
If it was Dynasty,
JSN's younger than Lamb.
Oof. He is.
And he is balling too, man.
Jason's looking really good. Sam Darnold has proved a ton of people wrong.
That post route Darnold threw to him when he took the shot in the chest the other night, that shit was nasty.
I mean, it's a heck of a play. And Coach, it's worth noting because I do think that CeeDee Lamb, while he's still a big name, a great player in fantasy, his name is up there right next to him in dynasty rankings, if not ahead of him. And that might be a hot take right now, but I don't think it'll be a hot take at the start of next season. Bowers is just the one tough part here, man. Like, I just have a hard time moving away from Bowers in Dynasty. He's just such a big-time player and so valuable long-term. So I would be tempted to hold. Now, that being said, it kind of goes back to what we talked about last week of is Cam Scattaboo, how high does he go in Dynasty rankings? We mentioned he's right at that 10 range, 10 to 12. Coach, where do you fall on this?
Yeah, I would probably hold Lamb, Bowers, Monangai. And Monangai's week last week changed all this for me. Without that week, it makes me interested in him long term. Because I do think for New York, the best answer for the Giants is to get a complimentary back to Scattaboo. You know what I mean? I think that's the way the world's going. I don't think Scattaboo's going to be the lone guy in that backfield for long. They'll get somebody with him, although I think I like him. I think he's really good.
And can that be Tracy? I mean, Tracy had 36% of the snaps, 9 carries, 46 yards, and a touchdown. It was a long play, too. I think it was like a 30-yard scamper for a touchdown or maybe somewhere around that. But no volume in the passing game. So it's interesting.
It is. It is. I mean, what if Monangai wasn't part of this? Lamb, Bowers. I mean,
Lamb and Bowers.
That's 2 good players too, man.
Lamb and Bowers for JSN and Scat. I would be tempted to take JSN and Scat. I really would. Like
Dynasty, I would too.
If I'm winning right now, if I need to win right now, I would be willing to say JSN Scattaboo. I get younger. We'll see what happens. Yeah, you trade away Bowers, but maybe you're sitting on a team that has Gadsden and Fannin. I'd feel a lot better about that.
Well, the Bowers usage has changed drastically too. I know he's been hurt, but things look different in Vegas than they did a year ago.
And
not because Bowers isn't amazing, but the team sucks and
the
offense has changed. Yeah.
Okay. Access coach says, think Shaheed or Pacheco is worth a pickup. I have Carter and Tez to drop. I'd drop Carter for Pacheco probably.
I would too. Yeah. I like Shaheed, possibly, but I like Pacheco more.
Yeah, I agree. Coach KJ says, what's the chances Nico clears concussion protocol before Sunday's game? It's always tough to say. I mean, every concussion's different. You never really know. I know that he didn't practice, so that's not a good start. Friday will be the big day to see if he practices Friday or has a limited practice. You can kind of start to picture that he would play. But if he doesn't practice, then I would be preparing to not have him.
It's so tough on Monday, man. When it happens on a Monday before Sunday, like that just cuts that day. You need every day you can. Like, and as a high school coach, this makes it's really difficult for me because in the high school world, this guy would never get cleared. Like it would never get cleared before game Sunday.
Yeah.
But now if it's Sunday to Sunday in the NFL world, they'll get cleared. Monday makes things a lot more difficult. So I wouldn't bank on it.
He says we'll send some shirts.
Woo!
There we go. We'll proudly wear them. They'll be our number 1 yard service team. So give us a follow over on X, message us, and we'll work this out. We'll send it the other way too. Coach, let's carry on. Let's get back to it. I'm just too excited for a shirt. I think we're right here. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Eric says, would you trade Diggs for Waddle or BTJ for Waddle rest of the season? I don't know if I want to go after Waddle, to be honest. I would hold either one of those other names over Waddle. Waddle had 76% of the snaps, only 4 targets, 1 catch, 15 yards.
I don't know the quote exactly, but there was something happened today where Tua said there was an issue involving him being able to get the ball to Waddle. Like, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Moving forward, I'm going to have to look at somebody's height, and there was an issue there. I would rather have BTJ. I'm not trading for Waddle. Nope, not doing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I get it. Tyreek's gone. He's had some pretty good volume, 9 targets, 8 targets, scored 23 points and 15 points, but the lows are low. We've seen he's had some health issues in the past. I just don't trust this Dolphins offense. It's A-chain and nothing for me there. But Jose, coach, says 2 running backs, 1 flex, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end. We've got Hall, Mason, A-chain, Tez Johnson.
Here it is. Tua said he didn't target Jalen Waddle versus the Browns because he had trouble seeing over the offensive line. Some of it has to do with being able to see guys behind the offensive and defensive line, and I'm not the tallest guy.
That feels like a bad excuse to me. I mean,
yeah. He didn't have any problem getting the ball to Tyreek 2 years ago, 2 years in a row for 119 catches each year, right?
And Tua is 6'1". Now, granted, is that tall? Is it undersized for a quarterback? A little, yeah, but 6'1" is not crazy. I mean, that's just fine. So yeah. I wouldn't love that quote. But, Coach, let's get back to Jose's question here. Let's pick 2 running backs, 1 flex, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end here. I'm going to go immediately with A-Chain and Breece Hall is my 2 running backs. My 2 wide receivers are going to be London and Tet. Then my my flex will be Mason, and I will put Tyler Warren at tight end with Drake May starting at quarterback.
Yeah, like I have to agree with everything you just said. I mean, honestly, like I don't see any other way. I don't see any other way around. I hate doing that. Like, it pisses me off when I agree with him. But yeah, there we are.
Should have let you answer first. Jose says Droop Jennings for Judy or Coleman. I'd go with Coleman. Yeah, I'd drop Jennings for Coleman.
I love hearing you say that. The biggest Coleman hater I know.
I am the biggest Coleman hater. There's no denying that. So I will totally say that I wouldn't necessarily play him, and I'll probably dog on him the whole time. But I'd rather have Coleman.
Really pissed if it don't work, right?
True. Let's get to the Smitty says 2 quarterbacks Superflex league. My quarterbacks are Daniels and Purdy's. I have their backups. Would you trade Daniels, Breece, and Nico for Lawrence, Olave, and Saquon? Ooh. Daniels, Breece, and Nico for Lawrence, Olave, and Saquon. 2 quarterback. We've already got Purdy. We have his backup no matter what. Oh, my gosh. That is... I'm holding Nico and Daniels. I get that the injuries are there, but I think the ceilings are... Oh, but I love getting Saquon over Breece.
Way better.
Yeah,
Olave and Nico feels like a push right now, honestly.
you're not wrong. Lawrence is playing, and Lawrence has been okay. Now, I
For the
understand.
record, I was talking mad junk about Olave during the game at the Bears game, and he catches 2 touchdowns in a row. That happened.
I mean, it did happen. And Lawrence has played okay. And I understand that he's not necessarily played well to win the game or like actual quarterback play wise, but fantasy, he's been okay. He's been fine. 26 points, 19 points, 17 points in the last 3 weeks. So I
That's
think
your
I'm
boy.
actually, you've convinced me. You've convinced me. I'd be willing to say, let's see what happens with Lawrence. He could be my QB2. Give me Saquon, who I think is going to get better. He had 18 carries this past week. No, he didn't get the touchdown, but I think this Eagles team realizes they can't sustain a drop back passing offense.
Lawrence is also completely healthy.
True. Very true.
Like,
and Jaden Daniels is kind of in that Lamar area too, where if we keep dropping games, how long do we keep rolling out a hop with Jaden Daniels? I don't know.
You mean RG3 2.0?
Don't say that. We can't. I'm moving on.
It's not. I'm kidding.
Stop. You're. I'm going to mute you. Jared says, "What do you think of the Giants signing Ray Ray?" I mean, he's on the practice squad, so I make nothing of it, to be honest.
He won't be on the practice squad long. He's better than little Jordan Humphrey, I think. Like, I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. Like, I think he's better than that.
I get it.
He's no Wandale. He's no Wandale.
Wandale for president, folks. That's the original signing, in case you didn't know.
It is. I think it's good. I think he can help their depth. No doubt.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've got 14 watching, more on X. We appreciate everyone who's been here. If you could like the stream, that helps us out a ton. We will continue to answer all these questions. I think we're going to go for about another 20 minutes or so, and then we'll get out of here. Coach Jared asked us as well, rest of the season, would you rather have Monty or Pacheco?
I'm going to say Pacheco.
I'm going to go Monty, and I get it. Monty's going to have bad weeks, like he just is, but there's going to be a lot of times where he falls in the end zone and he saves his day and gets you 12 points. Pacheco, to me, feels like a hope and a dream for him to get you consistent 12 points. So I would go with Monty.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I do. I get it. And you're a sucker for Monty and being a thumper and all those good things. I understand. I do get it. But yeah, I'm saying Pacheco. I'm rolling the dice.
Real question here from Chaz, Coach. Dart or Daniels as QB1 this week?
Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Dart.
Daniel's not playing.
He's not playing. Rest in peace for this week. It's there's a good chance we lose, and that's going to crush me. But I do have a question, Coach. If this was Daniel Jones, would you rather start Daniel Jones or Jaxson Dart?
Daniel Jones.
Okay, interesting. Need two. Vidal, Monty, and Pacheco. Pick two, Coach.
Pacheco, Vidal.
Rest of the season. Sorry, I forgot that part.
All season long, I think
Pacheco
I'm Pacheco and Monty. Yeah.
Vidal could be easily replaced next week. I think Hampton's officially eligible to come back this week, but I don't think he will. So that kind of is something that plays into this.
And the other two roles are set.
Yeah. The Cocky Cane coach says, tight end, full PPR, Kelsey or Kittle?
Just this week or rest of the season? If it's just this week, I'm going Kittle.
I would go Kittle this week too. Washington's been burned by everything through the year. So Kelsey for me, rest of the season, Kittle.
Okay.
But he needs two flexes, Coach, full PPR. Vidal, Diggs, Quentin Johnson, or Dowdle. I'm going to go with Diggs and QJ.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Chaz says, should I start Dart over Daniels? You should. Daniels will not play.
Absolutely.
So that is the move. 2 quarterback league. We already hit this one, right? Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did.
Daniels has been ruled out. Yep, that is true. Yep, we hit that one. Tree Hugger says, thoughts on trading Benson and Caleb for a running back? Possibly even a Bill, or a K9. For Genty, Barkley, and Henry, I could also throw in Ferguson and pick up Gadsden. I have Tyler Warren. I'd have a hard time moving Ferguson unless that's Terrence Ferguson, not Jake Ferguson. You know, I understand.
Terrence Ferguson, that's different.
Yeah. Totally agree. So, Coach, let's start with the top here. Would you be willing to trade Caleb and Trey Benson for Bill or K9? We already went through. I forget who he had at his other quarterback.
Now, wait a minute. I think he's adding Bill and K9 to the deal for Genty, Barkley, Henry, right?
Oh, I see. You're correct. So let's say Caleb Benson and K9. Bill. I would give all three of those for any one of those. Any one. Order Barkley, Genty, Henry would be the pick order I would go.
Who would you send away first, Bill or K9?
Walker.
Nah.
The reason I say Walker is, I mean, here's his last week. I love Kenneth Walker, and we've talked about this a lot in the offseason. Week 5, 44% of the snaps. Week 6, 35% of the snaps. Week 7, 44% of the snaps. 16 carries, 19 carries, 10 carries, 10 carries, 17 carries. But they're not using him at the goal line. Unless he makes a big play, he gets them down there. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. He gets them down there, and then they pull him out, and they bring in Charbonnet, where we watch him make 3 attempts to get a yard. It's brutal. I don't understand it at all. But it's just simply what they're doing.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I get it. I would trade all those too. I mean, you already have your quarterback, so Caleb doesn't even matter to you. It's a major upgrade at running back. So,
yeah. Would you be willing to throw in Ferguson to get Gadsden, though?
Terrence Ferguson? Yeah, I would.
What about Jake Ferguson?
No.
Okay, yeah, I would hold on Jake Ferguson too. I mean, I get it. But if they want any combination of Benson, Bill, or K9 for any of those 3 backs, I would do it, to be honest. Because we're already talking about cutting Caleb Williams, Trey Benson I don't care about. And then these other guys, you're just upgrading for free at Genty, Barkley, or Henry.
I will say I'm the king of doing the same thing, tree hugging hunter, so I get it. It's like I get a deal and all of a sudden I make it really big. And that scares off the other guy. Like, you gotta be careful. That'll scare off the guy you're wanting to trade with.
He did it today twice.
I did. I'll probably do it when we get off of here. But oftentimes that they would rather just make the simple deal. They would rather just do the 3-for-1. You start getting all these other guys involved. People are just scared to do something that big.
I think it just gets too complicated where they go, I don't even know what to think. But if you do a 3-for-1, they go, oh, I'm getting 3 players. I'm getting, Caleb Williams. That solves my quarterback. Maybe there's someone that's starting Bryce Young or Aaron Rodgers or whatever. I would be just fine doing that deal.
At what point, Matt, are you afraid you're helping out another team so much that they beat you?
I'm not really ever thinking about that, just generally because I want to make my team the best possible. Now, would it suck if you get to the championship and this guy starts Kenneth Walker and Caleb Williams and you lose? Absolutely it would. You'd say, I gave him those guys. But at the same time, I know that I'm going to feel a lot better if in my lineup I'm starting Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels, I forget his other quarterback, but whoever it was, and Genty over Kenneth Walker or Genty over Bill or Barkley over Bill. Like, I'm going to feel better that I lost getting the better player.
Okay. I'm with you. I agree.
But I don't want to lose. Epic Fail Coach says, PPR, pick one, Keenan Allen or J.K. Dobbins?
J.K. Dobbins.
All right. Omega says, chat, would you rather stash Algier or Brashad Smith? Coach, you're a waiver man. Who would you take?
I would stash Algier.
I would stash Algier too.
Algier has more usage than Smith now, and heaven forbid something happened to Bijan, he would just take over and be amazing.
Elite handcuff.
Yeah.
Trome Force says, with Jaden Daniels out this week, pickings are slim at quarterback. He's rolling with Flacco versus the Jets. I don't hate it, man. I mean, he's going to throw the ball a ton.
These played well.
They're stingy. They're good.
They are.
Ertz or Kraft this week, Coach? I have a hard time not going with Kraft.
Yeah, Kraft.
Yeah.
Kraft gets the most usage of those Packers receivers.
Yeah. Speaking of Packers wide receivers, Christian Watson's in his IR. Do you think he's worth holding?
Yeah, I mean, unless you have someone better you need to put there.
I think that's the perfect answer. If you have someone you could put on your roster in there, I would drop him. But if you can hold him, just hold him.
Yeah.
D Money says, should I trade Lamb for Chase? I'd be getting Chase. Yeah. Chase is the better player. Both of us will agree to that. Mm-hmm. Lamb is in the better offense right now. And I get Chase just had 16 targets. But as long as Lamb is healthy, he's in line for a huge rest of the season.
Does it matter to you that the division is so bad that the Bengals, they have a higher chance of just being steady for the rest of the year?
It matters, but I mean, as much as we like to give Flacco his flowers for, just coming in there running offense, he does that well. He does have dud weeks. It's happened. He's been benched before, and it could easily happen again. And I don't think that he'd be benched and lose the job for the season, but he could easily lose the job for a game.
You're doing this in Dynasty for sure, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Bugs Bunny says, would you trade Pickens and Allen for Marvin Harrison, Nico, and Trey Benson? Oof. Yes, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't love Marvin Harrison or Trey Benson.
But give me the depth there.
Yeah, I agree. Give me the depth and Pickens to me and Matt have talked about this as a sell high guy right now. Now is the time to sell Pickens.
Yep, totally agree. Trone, as always, is here. We appreciate you, Trone. Says my running backs are CMC, Barkley, Jalen Warren, and Gainwell. Do you guys think my wide receiver room is good enough? PPR, Nico, Olave, McLaurin, Devontae, and Hunter, as well as Kupp, who he may drop at this current point. I mean, are they good enough? Maybe.
I would have told you yes before the season. Now,
exactly.
No.
I mean, McLaurin, who the heck knows, man? I hope soon, but no telling. Kupp,
but now Travis Hunter.
Player.
Hunter.
That could be your darling. Could be. Devontae Smith looked better, but I mean, it's just a volatile offense, and I think eventually it goes back to Saquon Barkley. So it's not going to be something you can predict each week. If you could make a move, I would be interested in it. Maybe you can take a guy like Devontae Smith who had a good week, and you pair him with Kupp, and maybe you can upgrade a little bit. I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Would you capitalize off of Olave's 2-touchdown week and Cooper Kupp and go get someone who maybe has underperformed?
Maybe, but I also tend to think you're not going to get anybody better than Olave.
That's fair. I get it. But I would at least inquire around, Tron, is what I'm saying. Just see what Olave and Kupp or McLaurin and Kupp or Devontae and Kupp, what that might be able to get you.
I'll tell you the move I've been trying to make, and I think could help your team, Tron, but people are a little hesitant, is if you can tear down off of someone like CMC. Like, he is worth so much. Can you get a Kyron Williams and another really good receiver?
Ooh, I love that idea. CMC, go get Kyron, like CMC and Kupp for Kyron and Waddle. Or CMC like for Kyron and I don't know. I'm just trying to think of names. Roma Dunze.
Yeah. I mean, he's been so good. Like, there's somebody out there that might do something like that.
Yeah. He has been elite. There's no doubt about that.
I think you could get down to a Josh Jacobs and somebody.
Josh Jacobs, most underrated fantasy player of all time. Just no one cares about him except for you.
I was about to say stop.
All right, start Roma Dunze or Tez Johnson this week, Coach.
Oh, gosh. I'm starting Roma Dunze mostly because they're playing the Ravens defense and it's hemorrhage points.
Yep.
As of this year. Rome also, though, I will say, has struggled the last 3 weeks. After a hot start, he hasn't done as much the last 3 weeks. So there is that. But I still like Rome. I still like Rome a lot.
Conditions were abysmal last week. You know that better than any of us. So I think that played a factor.
Has an amazing afro. If my wife was here, she'd tell you how much she loves his hair. So
AJ says, last week I traded Dowdle, Ladd, and Sutton for St. Brown, Diggs, 10-man league, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. I now
great
have
move.
Genty, Judkins, Brees. CD, Puka, St. Brown, Diggs, and Ted at wide receiver. Was this a good trade? Yeah, I'm with Coach. Hell of a move. Well done. Absolutely well done.
It's so funny to me. I live in Carolina, and people are all tore out of the frame that Chuba started the game this past week. And I've told them all week that was about to happen. Like I've been telling the whole world that was about to happen. Dowdle ran wild against the 2 worst run defenses in the NFL. He did. Is Dowdle a good player? Yeah, he is. He's fine. But Chuba's the starter. He just is.
He is. Coach has scouted Dowdle for years.
And they're paying him a lot of money. Dowdle has torched me since high school. So
George says, hey, gents, Flacco or A-Rod this week? I'm going to go with Rodgers. He's playing well, man. Like, there's just no way around it. I know that hurts.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get it. But the Steelers are, okay, yeah.
Who should I start at tight end, Ferguson or Kittle? And then who's the other flex? The tight end or Woody, Pearsall, or Golden, Coach? I would go with the 2 tight ends, to be honest. Pearsall, if he plays, Pearsall over Kittle, but I don't know if Pearsall's going to play, so I'd probably go with 2 tight ends.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Well, we're caught up. We're about at the hour mark, so I think that's going to do it for us. We will get out of here. We appreciate everyone who's tuned in, so be sure to like the stream, subscribe if you have not already. Go follow us on X at the FF Mediators. You can join our Discord. It is in the description. Join for free. Ask us questions. Interact with us. If you want to get our rankings, you can get those over on the Patreon as well. Coach, any final words?
No, another big shout out to AC Yard Services.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Big fans.
We're big fan of AC Yard Services. They're one of our favorite yard providers. Be sure to check them out in your local area. So that's going to do it for us. We'll catch you in the next one. See you on Wednesday.